Alright, if you can hear background noise, I apologize for that. Alright, so we're doing this again. It has been a hectic month. A very chaotic one at that, and like most people, I just started school. So that's fun. I have an idea that may crash and burn, but I have to get this art out somehow. I was waiting to maybe post this in the future, but I realized that maybe it might just be a better idea to try out this new format, this new style of storytelling. I think that it'd be fun and it'd be new and something that I can just get out there without much thought. So I'm not really going to be providing any context for these speed paints. Just know that like some of them are pretty old. The other half I've got done this summer. Yeah, that's why there's a bit of a bump in how complicated these look, and I've been having a lot of issues with actually finding the time to be able to record any narration. Also just kind of dragging my feet because I was hoping to get these things out with their own video, but I never completed any of the speed paints of the other that would be included with the other videos, so they're included now. I guess this would be considered a story time. It's not really a story time, it's mostly just like talking about stuff. I didn't used to sketch a whole lot when I was drawing, but recently I've gotten back into sketching. So one of these speed paints, I don't know where it's gonna be, but it is of a character that I've had from a really small story that I made. I didn't draw that much for it either, and it was a story about this girl who essentially became a superhero, basically. That's the idea of it. It's a fantasy world with a bunch of half-human, half whatever the heck, and they have angels and demons there, but like only the angels are the elusive ones. The demons, they're just titled that, they're called something else, but there is a rogue angel that's basically just blessed her with wings, and she finds out that he's actually wanted in heaven. So she has to choose between her friend, who isn't actually doing anything bad, just like blessing people and stopping them from dying at the time that they're supposed to die, and giving out angel wings, which can take the form of anything, not just bird wings. So her wings were Mothwings. And so you'll see that one of these speed paints look like the character has butterfly wings, but no, those are Luna Moth wings. And that one, I spent a lot of time sketching it all out. Here's the thing about sketching for me. I started doing it recently because I was drawing like a little comic, and I'm still working on it. It's the Rejects Club, and it's probably not going to be coming out anytime soon because I've only just started working on the storyboard. This is not like the final draft or anything. I found that it is very, very hard to draw without sketching now because I've been sketching for such a long time that I find that my drawings without sketching look really shabby and like bad. If you asked me to sketch before I drew when I was in my freshman year, I would have looked at you and said no, because I hated sketching when I was a freshman, and like in like 2 years now, and now I can't draw things without sketching. I mean, I can, but I don't really see it as good art. I think it's kind of crappy, but other people look at it and say, man, that's good art, and it's like, damn, I can do so much better though. I think the main reason why I didn't really like sketching was because of my art teacher. She made us draw a lot of realism. I took a beginner's class, which I should have learned before, but you're not supposed to take a beginner's class if you have picked up drawing when you were like 2 or 3 or 4 and then just never stopped drawing. Like, there is some psychology behind what she made us do, which was draw realism first. But that class was definitely for people who had just picked up drawing, not for people like me who have been drawing for a really long time. Of course, it does actually help me because like I learned how to sketch, some of the things that I needed to learn in order to sketch well, how to replicate life in a good way, and like shading and like other techniques, and basically just like learning how to draw realism, something that I didn't really want to do and something that I don't really like doing. But I had watched a video recently, from the last take I did of this, and basically the person just explained that drawing realism would help you draw better out of imagination, because you need to learn how things work in order to draw something out of imagination. And I think if my art teacher had explained why she was making this the beginners, I think if my teacher had taken the time to explain why she was making us draw realism in a beginner's class, it would have been a whole lot easier for everyone to just adapt to her way of teaching. But because she really didn't and just said that we are not skilled enough to draw out of imagination, I think a lot of people had a bit of spite against her, had a bit of like bitterness, because she basically just insulted us instead of telling us and explaining why we need to learn realism. If she had explained that, then I think a lot more people would be willing to follow her steps. But because she didn't, a lot of people just kind of did their own thing, and a lot of people who just took the class to get the credit really did not put that much effort into their drawings and probably didn't get a good grade. I mean, they put in the effort to turn in the drawings, but they didn't put in the effort to make it as realistic as she wanted, which earned a lot of critique. The other thing I didn't particularly like about that class was that she always had us critique each other, which, if you know anything about art critique, it's really bad if it's unwanted, and when you force it onto a person who just doesn't want it, then it gets even worse. I don't think that class ever told me how to take critique in well. It was just kind of something that you had to do, and you had to present your art, and for some reason a lot of the students liked to roast my art. I think the reason why I didn't really like sketching before I drew was because I had basically just self-taught myself how to freehand things, and it always looked good because I never saw my art when I did sketch. I guess a part of me just decided, you know what, if I'm going to be making this comic, it might as well just have sketches in it, because I looked at my freehanded version of the comic and I basically just told myself, you know what, this doesn't look good. And at the time I was already like sketching out stuff because I couldn't start a drawing, and I decided to sketch it. And I think that was when I was like, alright, let me try to sketch more. Could have also been after this competition, which is what the Mothwings photo is for, by the way. It was for an art competition, which I ended up winning. I don't want to sound too cocky. I always hate it when I feel like I think things or say things that sound really narcissistic, because I never want to come off that way. But basically, I went into this with my all, and I knew that I was gonna win, and I did. How did I know that I was gonna win? Because literally every single art competition that I've been in, I have won. I think the main reason was because I kept on cultivating art. I never stopped cultivating art, and I continued to take in a bunch of media that had a lot of artistic values and stuff in it that really helped to push on my creativity. I got a little bit tired of entering into art competitions because I could put so much effort into it and I just win, when I know that if I had not put as much effort into it and I put that as my entry, that I would still at least get like the first 3 places, maybe even the first 5 places, heck, even the first 10 places. I would make it somewhere on the top 10 mark. I would be in the special mentions, that type of stuff. I've only ever not won one competition so far, and that was because it was a district-wide competition. If you know anything about district-wide ones, just know that there are a lot of artists that are better than you. So that one, I knew that was going to be a gamble. So that's why I think when I joined that competition, I knew for a fact that no, I'm not going to win this, and even though I put my all into it, this is just kind of something that I'm doing for myself because I know that I'm not going to win this. I did not end up winning that one. I don't actually know what the artwork of the winner was, which is really strange because I really want to see if I can improve on anything or learn from her. That's one of the things that I went into this art competition for, was that I know that I'm not going to win, but I want to see the winner's artwork because I want to see if I can improve on mine, which is something that I feel like was good for me at the time, at least I think, and I hope, but I don't know. One of the other artworks that I had made in this, I put a lot of effort into because it was also for school. It was a drawing that I did for my Spanish class. That was the first time that I was doing this whole no line art thing, and I just referenced a bunch of Captain Puffy pictures for the hair. I think it turned out great, and I haven't actually gone back to my normal way of doing hair unless I actually make an outline for it. Or, you know, I'm lazy, and I want to get things done. Anyways, that was kind of just a ramble on. I don't know what I'm gonna keep and what I'm not gonna keep, but if I find something else that I can ramble about, well, you guys just watch me draw, then I'll film it. But that's only if I find something that I am actually going to talk about and that I'm actually gonna have time to talk about, because that might not be the case. I might not be able to make any narration next month or the other month. Or any other month. It's grind year for us. Anyways, basically just know that I might be doing a whole lot more of these because now I have stories to tell, which I know are not gonna reach a whole lot of people. There's like 20 people subscribed and only like 2 of them actually watch what I make, and I know one of them. I guess at the end of the day, this will crash and burn, but you know, so yeah. Thank you for listening.